Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the Brandon Carter situation. I waited a few days to comment on this one. I've known about it. I actually got some video footage a little bit a couple days ago that had been leaked, but honestly I didn't feel like there was enough information on this yet to even discuss it. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Actually, I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about Brandon Carter or Connor Murphy. I do know that someone had said Brandon Carter, or there was something about he had popped off or something about me over the fake natty stuff, but I don't really remember that. Some people told me that he did, but I don't recall it. I don't recall seeing it. I don't really know a lot about this guy. But having watched what happened in the video, listening to his side of the story, I actually feel a little bit bad for the guy. I don't necessarily think he's getting a fair shake here, but the thing is, he came down to Texas and did something that was probably not the best of ideas. So basically what happened, Connor Murphy, who is apparently known for doing jokes and everything, he's, I guess, a fitness YouTuber, has his shirt off and stuff, plays jokes and pranks in public, came down here to Austin. Brandon Carter came down, and I guess he's from New York, the New York area. He came down here to Austin, Texas. And, you know, as a lot of people joke, Austin is where you go on vacation and leave on probation. A little bit of an expression I hear often down here, because Austin is a bit of a party town and people get arrested there a lot. It's very, very easy to get into trouble in Texas, and a lot of people don't realize that from other places. You know, you got to be very, very careful about getting in altercations or being intoxicated in public. Being loud and belligerent in public is actually not legal in Texas. You can actually get in trouble for that. Fist fighting, you can go to prison for. Again, people don't always understand Texas laws. They think, oh, they're a bunch of rednecks, you know, they fist fight and stuff all the time. No, not really. Fist fighting can get you felony charges here, and people need to remember Texas is a 3-strikes you're out state. You get convicted of 3 felonies, it's a mandatory life sentence. You're done. You go to prison for the rest of your life. So yeah, you got to be careful about stuff like that. But what basically happened, they came down here and they staged a prank. They were going to do a prank in public to where, I guess, Connor Murphy was going to kind of upset a woman or whatever. Brandon Carter was going to come up and kind of get mad at him or whatever they were going to do. He was going to throw a fake punch. They were going to fake fight for just a second, then do a little dancing routine. That's what they claimed they were going to do. I have no reason not to believe them on that. You know, because they showed them rehearsing it. They've got video footage of them rehearsing the fight and dance. I think that's believable evidence that they're honestly telling the truth, that they're not bullshitting us. That's what they were actually going to do. But they're not. He's not angry at Connor Murphy, even though it was his idea. But here's where things get ugly. All right, I'm a YouTuber, so I mean I'm careful of what I do in public with certain things. But also, Brittany works sometimes in the film industry. I've been on quite a few movie sets, and we've had a situation to where the police showed up during a fake filming of a fight. All right, after it was already over, but the director didn't do it the right way. He didn't, I'm not going to say his name because I like the guy personally, he's a good guy, but he didn't get any permits. He didn't tell the police ahead of time, hey, we're going to be filming a fake fight over here at, 10 o'clock at night in a parking lot. And it ended up taking like 30 minutes to get all the scene filmed from the different angles he wanted. And, by that time, people had called the police. We had to tell people were coming up to break up the fight. So we had to tell people, no, this is a film. This is a movie. There's cameras, or the people who were involved. I kind of chilled and stayed back out of it. I didn't want anything to do with certain parts of it because I was worried the police were going to show up. And sure enough, the police did show up, but there was no fighting at that point, and they saw all the cameras, and they had to explain to the police they were just filming an independent film, and no one got in trouble, no one got arrested. But in a place like Texas, I can tell you that if police come upon even a fake fight being filmed and there's no permits, they don't know anything about it, the patrol people in the area haven't been told, hey, there's a little film or some YouTubers or a movie being filmed there, they see you on top of someone hitting them, they're very likely to come at you with guns drawn. And you could actually very easily find yourself getting shot. Because in Texas, and let's just throw this stuff out the window. People are like, oh, you can't shoot an unarmed man. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. In Texas, you can, in the right circumstances. I'm not going to play lawyer here, but yeah, If the police feel that it's the fastest way to keep a person from continuing to being injured, and they feel it's a dangerous enough situation, they very well might. Or the person goes to resist, and they've got guns drawn on him. You've got to be very, very careful of that. But yeah, the police did get called, and they did have to be explained what was going on in a film that I've seen, because people didn't call in, let the police and everyone know ahead of time what they were doing. This is a perfect example of that. Let that be a lesson to other YouTubers out there, people doing this stuff. When you're going to come down to a place like Texas to where violence or disturbing the peace and things like that are actually very serious offenses, you need to know the laws where you live, and you need to realize that playing a prank or something for YouTube could go really, really wrong in a legal sense. You absolutely need to find what permits you need to get. You need to make sure the police know what you're doing before you do it. And the reason he was even told there, Brandon, was explaining to the police, and they told him, well, people could have thought this was real. And he's like, I'm sorry, I know, but he's also like, but that's kind of the point. All right, what people need to understand, again, this is Texas. You come down here and you get yourself into a physical conflict, everyone's armed here, right? 10% of the people walking down the street are carrying a gun in Texas. 1 out of 10 people. Everywhere you go into a supermarket and there's 100 people in there, that means 10 of them are carrying a piece. Because you don't see it doesn't mean they're not carrying it. What happens when you get in a fake fight, but someone's convinced it's real, and maybe they think it's going too far, or they panic or whatever, and they feel the fastest way to stop you from beating on the other person, who you seem to be the aggressor, because you might be bigger than them. You take someone like Brandon Carter, he's a pretty big guy. I think it's pretty obvious when you look at Brandon that he lifts. All right? Most people aren't going to want to go grapple him and pull him off someone. They aren't going to want to do that. He looks reasonably strong. He looks reasonably muscular. Average person's not going to want to do that. They tell a jury, well, I put a bullet in him. It was the fastest way to get him off the other guy. See how that works? A lot of people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, guys, Texas is a little like that. The jury might give him a disturbing of peace for the gunshot. But it might not be an assault. It might not be a murder. So, yeah, the police are like, you can't be doing that here. People don't think there's a real fight. And people need to understand, in Texas, you can use certain amounts of force, whatever is deemed necessary, whatever you can convince a jury was necessary, for you to stop that fight. And you have a big guy like Brandon. I mean, he's not a small guy. He looks pretty tall, looks pretty good size. I mean, he's not someone who most people are going to want to grapple. So he got charged not with an assault, because obviously Connor Murphy wasn't going to press an assault charge. If he had, he'd be getting a felony count for that. If Connor was actually mad at him and it wasn't, and it was a real fight, all Connor has to do at that point is press an assault charge. That's a felony. All right, Brandon would have been fucked, but obviously they are friends. Obviously this was staged. But here's the problem. Brandon's a pretty big guy. Now, he claims he didn't resist. I'm inclined to believe him. I think he sounded sincere. But I'm not a jury. I'm not the police. We couldn't see everything that happened. Do I want to believe him? Yeah, because, I mean, did he sound sincere in the video, the phone call? Yeah, he sounded sincere. I really think he didn't try to resist. But maybe the police felt that he did. All right, and the police had to take down and tackle a couple of them. A couple of them were on top of him, a pretty big guy in a heated situation. And here's the thing. When the police grabbed him, I went and looked at the footage they had, as their evidence, and other people got between them and the camera. For 5 seconds from the time the police grabbed him, he wasn't quite down. All right, the police grabbed him in an obvious legitimate situation. It would be different if the police didn't have probable cause. If the police jumped on you without probable cause and tried to take you to the ground, and you go prove in court later they didn't have probable cause to try to arrest you, all right, or to restrain you, you wouldn't get a resisting arrest because they didn't have a legitimate reason. But in this case, because they did a prank and they didn't tell the police first, the police had no idea this wasn't real. They didn't get with law enforcement, they didn't get with the city, they didn't get with the county or anyone else first. The police had a legitimate reason to take him down. All right, absolutely legal reason. I mean, they were doing their job. And he admitted that. They were doing their job. He understands. They went to take him down. We don't know how many seconds because of that window. If he was didn't know what was going on, because he obviously was not expecting it. I mean, let's be fair. He started the prank thinking everything's going to be okay, and some guys jump on him out of nowhere. Maybe he struggled, maybe he didn't. And maybe he doesn't remember whether he did or not, because human memory's like that. We don't have a vision of what happened. We don't know if it took the police 4 or 5 full seconds to drag him to the ground, or if it took them 1 second. Because the camera was blocked by people from the time right after they jumped on him. They were on him for less than half of a second before the visual got blocked. And then 5 seconds later, they've got him on the ground when the other people step out of the way. We don't know what happened in that 5 seconds. And, it could have been a case of Brandon not knowing what happened, and he resisted for just a second of them taking him to the ground. Well, that is resisting arrest in Texas. But the problem is that I don't know, you don't know, no one knows but the people who witnessed it and saw it firsthand what really happened. They don't know what happened. And it's going to come down to his word versus the police. And unfortunately for him, he admitted in the thing, he has a previous criminal record. We don't know how extreme that is, but from the way that he talked in the video, I'm going to assume that it's something pretty bad, that he possibly has a felony. He possibly has a felony conviction somewhere. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have mentioned it. I'm going to assume it's not, a Class B misdemeanor marijuana possession or something. He doesn't have just like a DWI or something to where, you get 6 months probation, your first offense, and pay $1,000 fine. He very well might have a felony conviction or something on his record. Because again, he said the law enforcement know. The law enforcement know about my record in the thing that maybe his fans don't. So that's not going to be good. The police are going to look at it that way. In Texas, I just got to be honest with people, they're harsh on stuff like that. Texas is really strict in a lot of ways, and they have someone who the police felt was resisting arrest in a situation where they had total probable cause to detain him because they saw what appeared to be an assault taking place. From a big, muscular, strong guy committing an assault, they took him down, and if they felt that he resisted, and you got 2 police officers who testified that he resisted, that's going to be very, very hard for him to beat. I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, he gets a good enough lawyer, he might beat it. But it's tough for him because he's possibly appears to be, again, going off of what he said, a convicted felon already. You guys see the problem there? This is Texas. This is a felony. Resisting arrest is going to be a felony. And, hopefully he doesn't have 2 felony convictions in the past, because that's, again, in Texas, he is completely fucked in that case. He's completely fucked. 2 police officers say he resisted arrest. There's camera evidence to show why they were arresting him. All they have to prove at that point, because they've got probable cause on the camera, all they've got to prove is convince a jury that he resisted for a second, that he resisted them taking him down. And he could be fucked at that point if he doesn't have a lawyer who can convince the jury that he didn't resist. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. You know what he's saying? You people be the judge. We can't be the judge, guys. We can't be. I can't judge it. You can't judge it. I'd like to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Because of the sincerity in his voice, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's possibly innocent. There's a good chance he's innocent. But we don't know. And, I guess the jury's going to have to figure that out. He's going to hopefully have a good lawyer. He said he's done with YouTube for a while, and he may be done with YouTube forever. And I think it's unfortunate that he got himself in this situation. I feel bad for the guy, honestly, because I know that he wasn't intending to do anything illegal, get in trouble or anything. But remember, guys, you can't play pranks in places like Texas. You got to be very, very careful that what you're doing is legal when you pull a prank. You need to be careful that you don't do something that's going to cause someone to shoot you in Texas when you pull a prank. All right, this isn't New York. This isn't Boston. This isn't London. This is Texas. You got to be careful with shit like that. You got to be careful that you don't do a prank that in some way is going to make a person think that they or someone else that they see nearby as innocent is in danger of immediate bodily harm. All right, if you do that in Texas, you could be a dead man walking. You got to watch that stuff. And God, if you're going to pull a prank or anything like that on camera that might scare people or alarm people, absolutely make sure the police know about it. Find out if there's any permits that you've got to get for this, for filming or whatever. Make sure that it's all legal so that you can cover your ass. So hopefully this is a wake-up call to a lot of people who didn't realize, you can't just do stuff like this just anywhere, unfortunately, for people. So honestly, guys, I wish Brandon Carter the best on this one. A lot of times when some of these cases come out, I want to just drag people into the ground for stupid shit, but I actually feel bad for the guy. I don't think he's necessarily getting a fair deal on this. So I guess my advice to him would be stay strong, bro. Lawyer up, get a good lawyer, and hopefully you get through this okay. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.